Welcome back to Lake Life Lowdown, the podcast that floats between real estate and real talk, one dock at a time. Today, I'm sitting waterside with Chad Saror, local agent, RE/MAX Pro, and the kind of guy who can close a deal and tell you the best fishing spot in the same breath. We're diving into the value of open houses, the stories behind the scenes, and what it really means to live and work at the lake. Grab a cold drink and cast a line. This episode's got stories, laughs, and maybe a little sunscreen.
Hey folks, Chad here with the Lake Life Lowdown, and I'm telling you what, we've got a humdinger for you today. Wait till you hear this nut.
I'm here with Chad. Chad is on the Fran Campbell team with me. Chad's on the team a year, and I've been on the team for about 6 months now, 7 months. So as somebody who is coming in right after Chad, I kind of wanted to have his perspective on what it's like to start selling real estate here at the lake. So Chad, you're newer to real estate, but you hit the ground running. You did an excellent year last year. You got Rookie of the Year with RE/MAX Lake of the Ozarks. What do you think helped you build momentum so quickly?
Well, when I started this job, there was no room for failure. That was not an option for me. This is my second go-around in life at a career. I supplied internet to people out in the mountains in Colorado before I did this, and that was a great career to me, and I really loved doing that, but that ship has sailed, and I needed something new to do, and this is not an option. Failure was not an option for me.
Yeah.
So I just have to be, I'm not afraid of getting embarrassed, asking people. I'm not afraid of people telling me no. I get a lot of that.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of failure. You can't be afraid of failure in doing this, so that's what I do. I'm really intentional with all my actions in real estate. I don't take things just by chance. I have things planned out. I don't work on a whim. I don't operate on whims. I operate on things that I plan, that I know that work, and I'm always looking for an opportunity.
Yeah.
That's, I think, what really helped me. I started, when I very first started, my first few months, I was talking to people about expired listings and listings that 3 and 4 other agents couldn't sell, and who wants to do that?
Yeah.
But I did, because I needed an opportunity, and I thought that would be a good place to start, and turned out I was able to sell a house at the end of this cove, my first expired listing I ever got, that 4 other agents couldn't sell in 3 years. And so there was a little bit of success early on, but that's what I do. I plan everything, and I'm very, just have to be intentional about my actions every day.
Yeah.
So
I noticed that after you get that first sale, it is so affirming, and it just gives you such wind in your sails. It is a boost. You just, all of a sudden, you are so hungry for it that you just want to help everybody.
Yeah.
So it is definitely, that first one is like a domino effect.
Yeah. For me, it's more about the feeling of helping somebody than it is the feeling of getting the sale or getting the check or whatever. That's secondary to actually just shaking somebody's hand at the title company, and you're like, look, we did it.
Yeah.
It's over. We got you where you needed to be.
Yeah.
It's a very fulfilling thing.
I agree. But so you mentioned that you sold internet to people in the mountains of Colorado. So you didn't grow up here at the Lake of the Ozarks. You are a transplant.
Yeah.
What brought you here, and what made you stay?
Yeah. I didn't know. I've never even knew this place existed at all a few years ago. And so actually COVID brought me here, weirdly enough, because I was living in Colorado, and politics are a little different there, and it was spring break, and COVID just had hit, and we had a vacation plan to spend that week off of work skiing and snowboarding and things like that, and they shut down all the mountains for COVID, because you can get COVID evidently on a chairlift. So we decided to get on Google and see what was open.
Yeah.
And everything was like backwater jacks, the big parties they were having, no mask allowed. And I was seeing stuff on ABC News about Lake of the Ozarks. It's crazy. All these people are going to get sick. So I'm like, that's where I want to be. And we literally drove down here like right at that time and spent a week here. And on that trip, I purchased 2 homes here, 2 vacation rentals. And kind of went from there. I just knew right away when I got here, I was like, this is a really cool place. This is somewhere I could be. I was really looking for a change in my life at that time.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I was Colorado's expensive, folks. Let's be real about it. It's taxes, the cost of living, everything's high in the mountains. It's not a cheap place to live. And when you come here and everything's half the price, you're like, oh, wait a second, I need to pay attention to this.
Yeah, something's going on here.
Yeah, this is good. And I see the action and the activity and how vibrant this community is. And it's definitely something I wanted to be a part of from the beginning.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a unique place to live, that's for sure. I think growing up here, sometimes I take it for granted a little bit, just because I don't know anything else.
Yeah.
So this is all we know.
Yeah, minus the helicopters.
Yeah. Do you remember when you realized this could be home? Like, what was the moment that was like, oh, I'm gonna live here?
Yeah, probably a few months after I bought those vacation rentals here. I was coming back and forth. I was renting them out, and I really was looking at the cost factor. And also, as my business was changing there in Colorado, it just felt like it was time. I did a lot of praying on it. I believe there's a lot of power in that.
Yeah.
And this is where I ended up. And I don't have any regrets about it.
Yep. Well, okay, so what surprised you most about this career when you got into real estate? Like, what was one thing that you were like, oh, I can't believe that's part of it?
All of it. Everything. It's super hard. I had zero idea how hard it would be. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but I didn't know the level of competition that you're competing with here at the lake.
Yeah.
There's 1,300 realtors, they say. You're competing. I mean, it's on a daily basis to be able to work.
Yeah.
And so that was a real big surprise to me, because it's such a small community.
Yeah.
1 in 5 people here is a realtor, I guess.
So what made you choose RE/MAX Lake of the Ozarks? Like, what made that stand out to you?
Okay, so I interviewed with some of the other big brokerages here at the lake when I got started, because I really truly didn't know. I had no clue. I hadn't lived here before. I didn't know who the players were, who the good ones were. So I said, well, I better interview with them. One company that I really thought that I was going to work for, and I just kind of had it in the back of my head the whole time, this is the direction I want to go, it wasn't RE/MAX. It was another company.
Yeah.
And I had 2 interviews with those folks, and they missed both of my interviews. They didn't show up.
Oh,
like,
no.
I showed up to their office, and the person that was interviewing me forgot about it. And so the first time I said, okay, accidents happen, I get it, we're all human. And then so I came back 3 days later, and they forgot about me again. Totally forgot I was there. There was nobody at the office. And so I just thought, well, this is probably a clear sign this is not the right place for me.
Yeah.
And so I hadn't interviewed with RE/MAX at that time, and so I did right after that. And I knew pretty much right away when I interviewed with the big dogs at RE/MAX that this is where I wanted to be. There's a lot of opportunity at RE/MAX. They're not going to hold you back.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Obviously, the name recognition is a big part of it. And they just give you the tools to be successful. So
Yeah.
I have no regrets in my choosing RE/MAX. I feel like I was put there for a reason, and I feel like it was a good choice.
I want to get into a little bit more of how you're selling real estate here at the lake. So do you have a routine or a ritual that gets you going, gets you in the game before you go out for showings or any of these like negotiations that you're having to do?
You ready for a good laugh?
Let's hear it.
Me driving to an appointment to meet with somebody, a listing appointment or something like that, I usually have some 1970s, 1980s country music jamming about as loud as it'll go in my truck. And I'm singing because it helps me take my mind off of things, because your mind can wrap you up.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of neutralizes me a little bit. So I'm usually got that in my head. And then when I pull up to the house or the condo or whatever, I just turn the truck off, I turn the radio off, and I get real quiet, and I just say a prayer. And I think there's, like I said, there's a lot of power in that, and it's helped me. So that's my ritual going in, and so
Yeah.
funny as it might be, country music and prayers.
That's Lake of the Ozarks. Okay, so on the team, when I first started, I was immediately told, do what Chad did, which is open houses, open houses, open houses. So what is your approach to making an open house work? Because let me tell you, it has worked.
Right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, 90% of my business this year has been through open houses on the house that I was holding the open house on.
Yeah.
So there is truth to that. So how do you approach it?
Well, I didn't know anything about that when I started. They're telling me this is a good way to meet people. So I listen to what the people that are successful tell you to do. So I started hosting open house. I didn't have a lot else going on. Why not? It's a good way to meet people.
Right.
So there's a right way and a wrong way to do open houses. I believe that if you don't put planning into it, I'm a planner. That's kind of the theme in this whole conversation is I like to plan things out, and I don't do things by chance. So I don't do last minute open house. I don't put it, an open house into, Realtor and Zillow.com the day before the open house. That's not good planning.
Right.
I like to start a week out and just really advertise it and see if I can't get a lot of people to show up.
Right.
That's the whole name of this game, is getting the word out.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been the trick with open houses. And then I'm not there to get anybody. I just am there to help them.
Right.
It's just a sincereness that comes from you, and either you have sincerity or you don't. And I believe that clients can know that, and they can read that in you. You're not just there for a check. You're just trying to help people out. And sometimes you can't help them.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But we can have a conversation about things. And I promise you one thing, you come to my open house, you're going to leave, we're going to be friends.
Yeah. The best part is when people are like, well, I really like this one, but it doesn't exactly fit my needs. I can't wait to show you something else. Like,
Right.
if this doesn't work, let me find you something else. Like, I would love to sell the house that I am standing in right now, but if it's not the right fit for you, then let's see something else.
Yeah. And a lot of people that come to open houses have houses to sell.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
this is a great way to meet people.
Yeah.
This is not rocket science. So,
Yeah. The old saying, keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah,
That
right,
runs through my
exactly.
head all the time. Just
Exactly.
keep it simple.
Yep.
Okay, so one of the successes that you had last year was there's a new Indian restaurant in Osage Beach. I don't know if people have heard about it. I can't believe that you haven't, because it's all over social media. It's Nawab's. It's amazing, and it's where Bonnie Cafe used to be. You had a huge part in that. You got them the building. So
Yeah.
how did that happen for you, and what did that feel like? What did that success feel like?
Well, so that happened really there was a little bit of luck involved in that deal, and there was a lot of going for no, as I call it, because I had a restaurant listed, not the restaurant that they're in currently. And they called me from Springfield, Nawab's, and they have a successful restaurant down there. And he said they're interested in opening up here at the lake. They wanted to come see the restaurant that I had listed. And so they did, but immediately when I met them and realized what they were trying to do, I realized that what I had listed was not something that would work for them. It was more of it wasn't set. They wanted to do a buffet. This place wasn't set up like that at all. But I remembered that Bonnie Cafe had moved out of that building up there, and I know the people that own that, and they actually live here in Muskot. And I called them and got permission to go show it. And one thing leads to another, and I was just persistent about it. They really didn't want to work with a realtor, the people that own that building. There was a lot of pushback on it all. But I just wanted to reassure them that they can trust me, that I'm there to help them, and I know that they needed help. They were just a little nervous about saying so.
Yeah.
And it just worked out well. That place has been a perfect location for Nawab's. They're so excited. Gaurav, the owner of that, and his bride, Kinsey, just had a new baby born about a month ago. And so this is now their home. And what a good feeling. I've taken them out on my boat, and they're my friends.
Yeah.
And I send them business all the time, and they have really great food there.
Yeah, it is
So
amazing. If you haven't been, I don't know why you're sleeping on it. It's amazing. You need to go check it out. What's some advice for someone moving to the lake from out of town, especially if they're thinking about buying their first lake home here? As somebody who vacationed here and then decided to buy some vacation rentals, and then someone who moved here permanently, also someone who's in the business, like, you have some unique insight into this. So what advice would you share to somebody?
Well, I think that one thing that I looked at when I was moving here, and I think most people should, is really what are your costs going to be when you're buying a lakefront home and you have a dock, and there's some expenses and all this stuff that you really might not take into effect. And if you're operating on a budget of any sort, you really want to take all that into effect, because nobody told me there was going to be 1 million spiders on my dock, and that it's pretty expensive to treat all this stuff every month, and none of this stuff is free. So you need to look at things like that. And then another thing that people really don't look at, and really should, is look at the water depth and what kind of boat you want to have. Because I can tell you there are a lot of people that buy homes here in the summertime and find out in the springtime that they can't get their boat off their dock because it's not deep enough. So you need to have a good realtor that's got a tape measure so you guys can figure that stuff out. And if your realtor's not carrying a tape measure and you're looking for lakefront homes, probably might want to be looking around. So it's a big one.
Yeah, water depth, and get creative with it if you need to. We have our team leader, Tammy. She's got a rope with a weight on it, so that she makes sure she hits that bottom. Yeah.
That's how you do it.
That is definitely something to keep an eye on, is the spiders on your dock, the depth of your water, and
And following the boat rules, that's always a big deal. Like, because I live this is a no-wake cove here.
Yeah.
And on Fridays when the new people come into the Airbnbs and stuff, we'll see people out here doing donuts in their jet skis. Come on, people. It's not legal, first of all. You get pulled over, but it's really bad because these docks aren't made for that, and people leave their boats in the water a lot. It bangs their boats, so just, you kind of got to know the rules of the lake, the rules of the water.
Boating etiquette.
Boating etiquette, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right, he brought up his boat, and then, so now we got to know.
My yacht.
Yeah. Okay, talk to us about your boat, and does it have a name? I know one of the best parts about having a boat here at the lake is some of the names.
Well, you ready for a good laugh again? My boat is named Little Debbie. And she's a 2007 Bennington Tri-Tune, nothing special. She's been well taken care of, low miles. I baby her. The guy that owned her before me babied that boat, and she hasn't been used very much. So, yeah, buying that boat was the best thing I've done at the lake. I enjoy it until no end. Probably don't use it as much in the summer as I do in the spring and fall.
Yeah.
Really, in the fall, like, September and October, it's really cooled off, and the water's still warm, so you can swim. There's nobody at the lake. That's when I go out in the boat a lot.
Yeah. People who live here full time, April, early May, end of August, and September are usually like our prime boating days.
Oh, yeah.
In the summertime, we kind of let the tourists have it a little bit more.
Totally agree. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the perfect boat day for you, and where do you go, and why?
Well, the best boat day for me is when my family is visiting from out of state. I go to a lot of different places on the lake. I mean, it depends on who I'm with. If I'm with coworkers, or if I'm with family, or a neighbor, or whatever, it depends on the company as where we go. But my favorite ideal day on the lake is when all my cousins are here from Texas, because they don't get to do this stuff a lot, and we just spend our days right here in this cove. This is the best place to be, and we got all the toys, we got boats, jet skis, and we just hang out right here and live the dream. And we don't really have anything to entertain us except for each other. And I'm telling you, there's always amazing stories when it's over, and we always have a great time. Somebody always catches a big fish. It's usually not me, but yeah.
I'm surprised when I got down here, I didn't see you with a pole in the water anywhere.
It's too early. I got work today. If I get started on that, I won't be ending up at work later, especially if they're biting.
Well, okay, so what's the best cove or mile marker?
I'm set on this. I'm totally partial. I love this cove. We are at the 17-mile marker. We're in the Pogue Hollow Cove. I love this cove because it is a no-wake cove, and it's one of the only ones here. It's a big, large cove, and you can swim right. Little kids can swim out here in the middle, and it's totally safe because hopefully nobody's whipping through here, right? And yeah, so the location, and we're just like a mile from Hy-Vee here, so we're like right in the middle of town, but you don't really feel like you're in town, so to speak. Yeah.
You're here, but you're not. Yeah.
I'm partial to this cove.
Well, okay, so what's one thing buyers should look for in a lakefront property that most people forget? I know you mentioned earlier water depth. Is there another thing that, if you're looking for a lakefront property, that you need to keep front of mind?
Well, I think that the lake is so big, right? It's 100 miles long, basically, and there's all kinds of different places to live here. If you like being in Grand Central Station where all the parties are, and it's really loud, and weekends, there's places for that, right? And then if you like to be where it's quiet, kind of out in the country, and there's nothing going on, and the houses are, 4-acre lots and things like that, there's places for that too on the lake. So, and you can get to those places. They're all not super far from each other, so it really is in whatever you desire, that is here at the lake. Yeah. Right? It's not all party town, and it's not all country. Right. You can get whatever you like. Yep. And if you want an upscale, high-end homes, they have that. You want something that's more affordable that you're just going to use a couple weekends a year.
We've literally seen a house built on the water. So
yeah, I didn't know that until a couple of weeks ago. We saw a house on the water.
Yeah, it was built on his dock.
Never seen that. A little bit of everything here.
Yep. Okay, one of the questions I get all the time in regards to the Lake of the Ozarks is whether it's a condo or a house. Which one is the better investment? So how do you help buyers decide which one they should go for? Because I know a lot of investors are wanting to come here, and good or bad, the lake is here to sell. So do you think, what advice are you giving to people if they're here to buy a condo, or if they're here to buy a home, or if they're unsure of what they're looking for?
Yeah, I would talk to those clients about what they want to do as far as like maintenance wise, because in a condo situation, you kind of show up whenever you want to and you just leave when you want to. You're not mowing the yard.
Yep.
You're not spraying for spiders on the dock. You have people that take care of all that stuff for you. There's a lot of situations in condos where they have management companies that'll manage your rentals and things like that. And it's really can be a super hands-off absentee owner type situation.
Yep.
A lot of times with a house, it's a little more. It just requires a little more hands-on.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to spray the weeds and take care of the place, and when something breaks, you got to be there to fix it. So there's a little bit more responsibility in owning a house, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's going to depend on your commitment level and how often you come. And,
yeah.
Do you want that expense? So.
Yes. And I know that there's a lot of times where people have this idea in their head about condos where it's just going to be parties, it's going to be noisy neighbors. There are more and more condo complexes anymore where Airbnbs and VRBOs aren't allowed,
right.
Or only a certain percentage of the units are allowed to be rentals. So you can get condos that are going to be nice and quiet and relaxed neighborhoods, or you can go ahead and get the ones that are going to be tons of fun and
Party Cove out.
Party Cove, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is all depending on what you want.
Yeah.
It's here. It just depends on what you want.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming to hang out with Chad on his dock today. Chad, thank you for having us.
I had a great time. It was fun.
Where can people find you? What's your contact information if they are looking for somebody to show them the lake?
Yeah.
Who do they call?
You can find me at chadserur.com. Chad SERUR.com. My phone number is 573-745-1716, and I'm at the Remax building about 9 days out of 10. So you can usually find me up there too. So
yeah, all right, thank you everybody. Thanks for watching Lake Life Lowdown, and stay anchored, friends.
Thank you.